Welcome to Indiana News Desk. I'm Joe Wren. Bloomington's mayor regularly says his administration is built on transparency, but some residents say a number of recent controversies show that that's not really the case. As Barbara Brosier reports, the latest incident involves data published on a city website that included the exact addresses of fatal drug overdoses.
When April Adkins logged onto Facebook last week, she was shocked by what she read. The post referred to a city-run website called Bloomington Revealed that included a map of fatal overdoses in the county.
This information about my in-laws were on the map, their address.
Adkins' brother-in-law died of an overdose in 2015, and her late husband also struggled with addiction.
The feeling of seeing their address on that website was like, this is very unfair. And at first, really I thought about my family. I mean, that was my main concern. But then I started thinking, well, there's a lot of families on this website that are represented by these dots that look like the sex offender registry.
The city says the map was intended to educate the community and show that overdoses aren't confined to one area of town.
But we also learned just last week, after this data was up for many months, that the addresses of individual deaths was a very sensitive information, and that seems obvious now. It is, of course.
The city responded to critics initially by saying the information was public record and it wouldn't be taken down. After the situation reached a boiling point, the Hamilton administration decided to remove the location data, but in the process, mistakenly posted the names and ages of the deceased. That information has also now been scrubbed from Bloomington Revealed. The mayor says balancing public health data and privacy concerns is complicated.
We will continue to work on this. From the beginning of my administration, we've been focused on transparency.
But some of the people on the front lines of addressing the opioid crisis say that's no longer how they feel.
We hope that in the future there's a real involvement of people most affected. Not as a response to policies that are enacted, but before those policies are enacted.
Abert says the Bloomington Revealed controversy is one of several instances of the administration not having an open conversation with the community before making a decision. He points to backlash over the city's purchase of an armored vehicle and a proposed moratorium on new addiction treatment centers.
What would be best practice would be that when they have these meetings, 51% of the people attending those meetings have direct, immediate experience with whatever the policy is.
Adkins says she felt the city brushed off her concerns about the overdose map until she helped plan a protest outside the mayor's house. She's glad the administration changed its mind and removed the information from the website.
Am I satisfied that things like this will not occur in the future? No, I'm pretty confident that the mayor's administration will go on without public input on several different issues.
Reporter Barbara Brosier joins us now for more on this. Barbara, so has the city talked about how they might better communicate, not only just to the professionals, but just in the public in general?
Absolutely. Beverly Callender Anderson, who's the Director of Community and Family Resources for the city, she appeared on WFIU's Noon Edition earlier today, and she said, hey, we did learn from this experience, and we realize now that we need to work more closely with groups like the Indiana Recovery Alliance and other stakeholders that are seeing these issues firsthand to get ideas as they're coming up with policy decisions. And she also urges anyone to call the city. Just call and make suggestions, let them know how you're feeling about certain policies so they can then adjust accordingly.
What other types of information is on that Bloomington Revealed website?
There's a ton of information on there, and there's this group that kind of determines from the city what data they're going to put out there. It's everything from the number of service calls that the police department makes downtown to even information about the demographics of people who work for the city. Mayor John Hamilton says the intent really is to empower people, give people information, whether they're community leaders or residents, just to make informed decisions in the community. But as we heard, some people say, well, hey, maybe we should include content area experts, people who work in those specific areas like social services or the criminal justice system when it comes to certain policies, so that they can explain how maybe we can more sensitively share some of this information.
All right, Barbara, thank you very much.